Hey, this is Adrian from Champaign Hope for Good, and I'm just out here enjoying a beautiful day with this wonderful taco. And each Tuesday, we're going to be gathering with a leader from our community, one of our collaborating partners, tacoing about Champaign Hope for Good over tacos. What can be better than that? We'll see you next week. Well, hello everybody, it's Adrian Calhoun back from Hope for Good here on this Tuesday, and I'm here with my good friend Adam Sorensen, and he is from the mental health department of Logan and Champaign County, and we're here for another Taco About It Tuesday.
Dink it and sink it.
Well, Adam, I want to say thank you for joining us for our Taco About It Tuesday segment. It's a pleasure to get to share some delicious tacos from the local in-market here in Urbana. So shout out to them. Great tacos. Some other segments, we've had some from Hothead and from Taco Bell, so can't go wrong there over tacos.
I'm sure you'll make the rounds here in Urbana. That's kind of that's got to be at least a quarter of the point of having these Taco About It Tuesday.
You know what brings people to get together better than tacos and great
on a Tuesday? And I would throw in Hemisphere Coffee. Just a quick plug.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Right on.
All right, so Adam, you have been in your position at the mental health department for a little while here, and so first question, talk about a little bit about more who you are and what you do and the organization you're part of.
Right. Well, Adam Sorensen, that's S-E-N at the end, not O-N. It's Danish. I live in Mechanicsburg, which is Champaign County, that way, about 15 minutes. My wife Heather and my kids, we got 5 of them. They're almost all school age now, so it's never a dull moment around our house. They keep me hopping for sure. But professionally, my background is in clinical mental health. And then I got into like administration stuff, and then more systemic partnerships in the community. So I did that for a while down in Clark County. And found tremendous gratification bringing different partners together to address complex issues in the community. So I've always dreamed of working at the mental health board, and never in my life did I think that I'd be so fortunate enough to serve at the mental health board for the county in which I live. That's going to happen to you, and so it's just a great privilege to be a part of this whole movement. Yep. Absolutely. Love your neighbor, they say. Even the people screaming at you during an interview.
The people screaming at you during an interview, because you just don't know what to expect.
That was fun.
Talk about it Tuesday.
That was fun.
You can have anything happen.
Right.
Anything can happen.
Right. So yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Well, and Adam has been one of the kind of brain trusts behind the grant for Hope for Good, and you want to talk about just a little bit where that came from, where the idea, I mean, obviously you shared your passion about bringing the community to the table. Share a little bit.
It really does take concerted effort from all of us to address complex social issues. Social isolation is one of those complex social issues. It was exacerbated by COVID, and so when we got wind that faith coalitions were going to be funded or be an allowable expense with this federal grant that was coming last year, it's kind of really a no-brainer to say, okay, well, what's the level of interest of different pastors around Champaign and Logan? We did this in Logan County as well. What's the level of interest in working together to address some just key priority areas? What are people already doing? We don't know, right? And so we had a lot of coffee meetings with pastors to just gauge the level of interest in working together around, when we can, where we can, around complex issues. And, it went well. So we had, by the time the grant was approved, we kind of had a basic framework of where to go with a coalition. We could actually say we had a coalition by that time, and so thankfully it went right through the state. And so we were able to bring you on board, which is a tremendous blessing, and have some money to meet some wraparound type money, flexible money to meet needs that couldn't be met with other community partners. So that's where this whole coalition thing came from. Now it's like sustainability, right? Because we've had some successes already, some key successes with churches being able to do some things for people to intervene in a very time critical and seriously good way that has established some relationships, which is kind of the whole part of this, circling back to that whole social isolation piece. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be a part of it.
Well, we're thankful for you and the work and the vision you've casted within Champaign Hope for Good, and being that partnership. We've talked in previous interviews of just how important wholeness is. Coming back to that, wanting to see that restorative practice occur in many different ways, and spirituality being part of that, a key role in that. And so it's been, I know for myself, it's been really cool to see the faith community come together and a community at large be able to see the big picture and see how we all can make a difference.
Right.
So, talk about kind of your vision for the future, as well as, the mental health board being a big part of that, and what do you kind of see moving forward, and also kind of what does the mental health board have to offer in the community? Bring awareness to that too.
Oh boy, well that's a great question. Basically, we're in charge of making sure that people have access to behavioral health care when it's needed at any point, whether that's prevention, PACS tools type of stuff, in the schools and daycares and even in Sunday schools, to early intervention stuff, and all the way through crisis care. One of these things where, getting into the vision type of stuff, there's still some complexities around our elderly population with dementia that are socially isolated. Oftentimes, our first responders will get 911 calls for these emergencies where people believe that something terrible or frightening is happening to them or going to happen. And our first responders will go and de-escalate the situation. And we have a senior behavioral health unit in Urbana. We have partners willing to not let that person continue to be socially isolated. It's just a matter of putting stuff together, because this could happen here, 2 blocks up the street, or it could happen in St. Paris or Christiansburg or Mechanicsburg or North Lewisburg or Woodstock, right? So when that happens, when somebody is suffering from a serious condition by themselves, what can be done about that, right? That's kind of my heart behind it, and that's an extreme example. We've done some things with less extreme examples that have proven to be, just absolutely critical. I don't want to spoil your later interviews, but stay tuned. This group here is up to some amazing things that make a world of difference for folks that wouldn't have otherwise happened. So that's the exciting part. So my vision is to keep this going. What we don't have is a very big levy. It's 0.7 mils. Comparatively, that's really small, and what that goes to is paying for treatment that's not covered by insurance mostly. Being able to sustain this with other community partnerships is going to be critical moving forward.
Absolutely.
So that's my vision, is just to continue to grow it. Yeah. You're going to get new partners inside the faith community and with other people that are doing things naturally in the communities tied to some kind of priority area, whether that's with the community health improvement plan or the hospital or fire departments. Police departments, they do these safety town things, right? It's just things that benefit the community, right? If we can attack, or if we could put together a successful strategy to reduce social isolation and people suffering with whatever in silence, and we will go a long way.
Absolutely.
So that's where I'm coming from.
That's awesome. Well, and that vision, I think, is perfectly cast for what we can be. You know, what can Champaign County be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And just look at the opportunity we have here. So, Adam, I want to say thank you for spending your time with us today. Thanks for sharing some amazing tacos. And
what did we do? Dip it and
dink it and sink it.
Sink it. I'll have to remember that. I'll have to remember that one.
This is a new practice. Going to go viral. So, everybody out there, we'll see you next Talk About It Tuesday.
Peace.